They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Miami Dolphins. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. They'll start the drive with Wilson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On the ground, it's Wilson. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Ravens on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Lowry. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. Lowry. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the time.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gonna look deep for Wilson.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Play action. Lowry escaping the pressure right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now a give, running left is Wilson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Oh, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. And this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
On third down, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And got his man complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big connection on that one. 37 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Ravens are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
To throw on second down, Lowry going to throw right side here, complete. 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run with Wilson out of the shotgun. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking to throw. Lowry. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Flushed out right. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Ravens on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Rolling to his right. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Wilson with a first down carry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Play action. Now Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. He's got a man complete. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one, as that now will wind up an incomplete pass. Flush to his right. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw. Lowry. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point safely through. And it's now 17-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They go play action now. Jackson eluding the pressure right. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Flushed out right. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. George Kittle, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 80 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football. Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Jackson. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. It's a big play there for Miami. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. He can only get a yard after all that. It's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw again. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. George Kittle, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
On second down now, it's Wilson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They go play action with Jackson. Flush to his right. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Steps away to his left, and he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows and just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now. Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
From the 27, Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 23. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. What a season he continues to have defensively. Now a dozen interceptions this year, Charles.
And let's face it, we've watched a lot of ball. But when you get 12 in 1 year, that's better than most careers, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you might be asking for a bump in pay, too.
No doubt about it. Running right in there and talking to the team.
Looking to throw on second down. Lowry. And his throw is incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
To throw on third down. Lowry. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Jackson. Finding room at the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll run again with Wilson. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 5. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, Wilson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now it's Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And partner, we've got a tie game with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 36. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season of
December.
giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. A give, this is Wilson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Well, another fine run right there for Lamar Jackson and CD. That one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise? With Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in the season as the top running backs in the league.
Play action. It's Jackson. High throw, but he makes the catch. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 21. Jackson now. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, it's Wilson. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal, looking to take the lead here in the late going. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on first and goal. So a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The penalty certainly makes things tougher here as they try again. Third and goal. Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked in and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Throwing right, and that's complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Jackson to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And once he got out of the pocket, you thought that maybe he'd take off with it, especially here in the 2-minute drill. Sometimes defenses are focused so much downfield that there's room to run, but this time he decided to throw it unsuccessfully.
Caught, it's Wilson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And they will get the timeout. So 3 seconds remaining, and they can trot out the field goal unit and try to send this one to overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And the 13-year man puts it through, and this game is tied. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the...
Oh, what a juke into space. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. 156 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now they'll hand it off to Wilson.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
On 3rd down, here's Wilson. Oh, what a move. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. Tucker's kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And that's how this one ends, in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. They set the goal beginning of the year. Hey, let's win 7 games. Unfortunately, with this loss, they can't do it.
So now it'll be interesting to see how they respond as a team, because sometimes when you set goals, if you don't achieve them, you don't care anymore. You let everything else go. I want to see if they're going to continue to fight, scratch, claw, do whatever to try and get as many wins as possible, even if it doesn't reach their stated number.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.